We are recording Tuesday the 30th.
Is it Tuesday? It could be Win Friday.
It's Wednesday.
Saturday, Sunday.
Right. It's the 20th of December, whatever day that is. We've been on vacation for 10 days now.
Is it 10 days now?
I think so. That's as high as I can count right now.
Oh.
We're just kind of limping into the new year.
Man, I have really enjoyed being off and having some downtime, watching some football, working on my documentary that I've been working on.
Can you talk? You can't really talk about that.
I
you probably shouldn't.
We'll talk about it
Okay.
in a few months.
But this episode might be a real roller coaster because there's no telling where our brains are. But I will say so. Our wives are. I'm gonna land this plane. I promise. Our wives are they took this night to hang out while we're recording the podcast,
right? Which is fun.
And they had a little. Them and their friend group had a text chain going around the other night that I thought was funny because they were all just like salivating over this photo shoot of Jason Bateman from Esquire magazine.
Okay, I'm looking at said photos now.
Have you seen these?
Yeah. Okay. So let's set the scene here. Jason Bateman is a 56-year-old man. He is in what appears to be good shape, and he's got long hair going on.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of a. I don't know how many days worth of beard that is for Jason Bateman. It might be 30. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but he's got a good beard going on.
Yeah, it's rugged. He's got a little rugged thing going on. He's got a leather jacket. He's wearing some shades. He's in a waterfall. Like wet Jason Bateman is getting the ladies. It's giving him the vapors.
But here's what he's not doing.
Yeah,
he's not shirtless.
Nope.
He's not showing any skin, not really. Like, he is not as good looking as Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the thing that I thought was most interesting about it was that he's just a 56-year-old dude, and I started thinking, like, who are the young, like, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's one of the guys that's like,
recently he's been in a lot of stuff too. Like, Ozark is the most streamed show on in the United States.
Is it now?
For over a period of time, it's got the most watch.
It's been watched the most out of anything on Netflix. It doesn't surprise me. It's a great series. He also had the role as Michael Bluth in Arrested Development. I don't know how much of an Arrested Development fan you are, but
I watched several seasons of it, and it's still going. He's also in one of the biggest films of the year, which just happens to be a cartoon. It's Zootopia 2. Okay.
It got me to thinking. So, our wives and their friends are losing their minds over this 56-year-old dude, right? And I'm going to go ahead and be just ageist and sexist and everything, and we're going to sound like a couple old middle-aged dudes. But I started thinking, it's weird how, like, the women will lose their minds over the aged guy, like, you know. Leo is getting up there now. I think if he's not 50, he's close to it.
He's late 40s, for sure.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt, like they're all getting up there.
George Clooney is still he's still a damn good looking man.
Right. But think about the actress, the female side of this coin. How many, like, are there a lot of, I started wondering, like, which actress is gonna have the same effect on dudes our age? You know,
I think people would think that dudes don't care about actresses that are our age. We're looking at like Jennifer Lawrence or somebody like that.
Right.
I categorically deny this.
I do too. Okay, I wanted to make this is the point I was kind of getting to is that. Like Jennifer Aniston is the same age as Jason Bateman.
She still looks great.
Still throwing 99.
Yeah, I mean, you know? I would, and as somebody that has spent a moment thinking about this, like, I don't know that I would ever want to look at a 30-something the way I look at somebody that's closer to my age.
Right.
I don't know what we talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't either.
6'7". I mean,
right. What was your high school? How many wins do you have on Fortnite? Like,
No, you can talk about that. You're still a gamer.
That's right. But it's interesting because it's like we went through a list just a minute ago.
Salma Hayek,
Salma Hayek.
is still, she was born in 1966. I'm just looking at a few. Halle Berry. The last time we saw her in something that was big, it's been several years ago when she was in the not Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan. He was still playing Bond.
Okay. Wow,
that's been some time now.
That's been a while ago.
But I mean, she's been in other things since then. But she was like a sex symbol in that.
Okay.
Like in in swimsuits and all that. But yeah, I mean, I still think some of those ladies look fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's what I'm not gonna do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have a text chain with you being like, "Did you see that photo shoot?
No.
What's her name?"
No,
we're not gonna do that.
No, that's not gonna happen. It was an interesting phenomenon. The one tie-in I had with this was that it's funny because it seems like the older actors, the older male actors, are the ones that kind of rule like award season and like the really good movie roles and things like that, and then it's the younger actors, the younger female actors that get the big roles, and then as they get older, they age out of those roles for some reason, which seems weird to me. And the funny thing is, I saw some stat where there's only been one Best Actor award given to anyone under the age of 30 in the history of the Oscars.
That's crazy.
And there are, I believe, 10 Best Actress winners that are under the age of 30.
Now, Emma Stone had to be one of those, I think.
I think so, yeah. But this came up because Timothée Chalamet has been campaigning hard for the ping pong movie and trying to win his first Oscar.
It is award season, right?
Yeah. We'll have to. Do we have to integrate that into the gambling thing?
Well,
I don't think we can legally gamble on that in Kentucky, but
I think you can gamble on it, but I don't.
Okay.
I'm not sure that you can do that in Kentucky.
You're not finding those odds on FanDuel.
I'm not looking for those odds on FanDuel. That's not something I would waste money on, but I think it is interesting conversation.
Maybe I need to fire up my Bovada account again.
Bovada. Yes.
Start doing some offshore betting on the Oscars. We are just two middle-aged refugees from Generation X.
Man, we grew up in a time that was a lot simpler than it is today.
Could we gamble on sports back then?
No, not really. We did, but not legally. But now?
Now we can, and we can talk about it on a podcast, and we can talk about a lot of other things too.
And we're going to. I'm Lanny.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is Bet Small,
Lose Small. We got week 17 in the books. It's another week of some crazy ass games.
Oh,
even
gosh.
the ones that didn't matter got a little weird.
But they oddly matter. Like this Atlanta win over LA last night does now matter.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta, if they were to win and Tampa were to win,
Carolina still makes the playoffs. We've got a weird
Carolina wins the division.
Yeah, wins the division.
And Tampa does not go to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. There's a weird quirk here where because Atlanta pulled out and look, we'll get to that game in a little bit because I think you got to watch about half of it, right?
Yeah, this was a weird week for watching football, but I did take in that Thursday slate as much as I could. And I want to talk about the Lions and the Colts, who are the same team
they kind of
in different cities.
They kind of are, yeah.
I feel bad for both, honestly. They had everything going for them, and just injuries just absolutely wiped out the Colts. And the Lions, just not necessarily injuries, but they just never fired this year.
The Lions never quite. I mean, you could see it in week 1 against the Packers that they were going to be a lot different this year without Ben Johnson calling the plays. They came in. It's the Colts and the Lions have kind of been the same-ish team, sort of mirror images themselves of each other. I'd say the Lions came in with a lot more lot higher expectations.
Oh yeah, nobody thought the Colts were going to be good after they got Daniel Jones, who had
decided to start Daniel Jones.
who had never. We were like Daniel Jones,
Yeah.
and immediately bet for the Colts to miss the playoffs.
How many people did you hear say, how bad must Anthony Richardson be if Daniel Jones is winning the starting job?
And Daniel Jones had a great year until he got hurt.
Yeah.
And that was unfortunate. The Lions didn't have their quarterback get hurt, but they just never were very good. But we'll start with the Thursday games.
Okay.
None of these mattered a ton. I guess the Lions-Viking mattered some, and the Broncos were still trying to stay in first place.
I don't know if it did. I think Detroit was already out of
eliminated.
it. Yeah.
They're-
Dallas and Washington was the early game. I mean, Dak put up crazy numbers again.
Good on the NFL schedulers. Dak was 19 of 37 for 307 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they thought that was going to be an important game, but Washington's been without their quarterback for some time. So Cowboys go to Washington and get a 30-23 win. That opened up the slate. In the middle of the afternoon game was the Lions at the Vikings. We were on the Lions because we thought with everything to play for and everything to lose that they would not come up small.
Well, we thought that. I don't know why we.
A couple weeks
before, yeah.
But still, they went to Minnesota and got beat.
They looked washed, man. They looked like they were beaten down.
Like disappointed.
Just disappointed and like mentally just shut down.
And then the Chiefs, who had no business hanging with the Broncos,
Oh my God.
even though it was Kansas City, Bo Nix comes to the rescue with a late touchdown pass, and they get a 2013 win to preserve their opportunity for the top seed.
Denver right now, based on tiebreakers, is your number 1 seed in the AFC. I texted you at some point during that game, and I said, this is why I'm just not scared of the Broncos, because they seem to sleepwalk through some of these games, man. And you can't do that in the playoffs. It's one of the reasons I'm worried about the Bills, who we'll get to later on.
Well, let me give you the strength of schedules for the AFC right now. Denver played teams that had a 41% winning record. 41.
Awesome.
New England, 38%.
Yeah.
That's the teams they played against. Those were their records. Jacksonville, their schedule was .504. Pittsburgh was .510. Then you get down to Houston, currently sitting 5th. Their strength of schedule was .527. This is the winning percentage of the teams they played. The Chargers was .439, and Buffalo was .492. Already eliminated were the Colts at .527.
So the interesting thing is that depending on how these the playoff seedings shake out, and right now we could have either Denver or New England is going to end up with the number one seed. Denver really just has to win, and they hold on to it. But you're going to have 3 more division. You're going to have so let's take Denver and New England out of it. Then you're going to have whoever wins the South. It's going to be probably Jacksonville, right?
Jacksonville.
Houston has a shot at that. And then you're going to have Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Gosh.
And I still can't believe that we're sitting here talking about the Ravens as potentially, winning the AFC North.
Well, Pittsburgh had every opportunity to just put this away this weekend, and they lost to the Browns.
I lost and this is something that happens. I saw a stat the other day that was something like Pittsburgh is currently on a 5-game losing streak to teams that are 8 games or more under 500.
That's crazy.
In this stands, but this stretches back to like 2021.
Doesn't that take the Mike Tomlin mystique to you and just knock it down a peg?
It's weird. There's all
Although
these,
I know you're not a big Tomlin fan.
I mean, I like Mike Tomlin because he says crazy shit.
I like Mike Tomlin, the human being, because I think he does good stuff.
Yeah, he seems like
I like Mike Tomlin, the coach. I just think after 15 or 16 years in one place, at that kind of job, it's time to go somewhere else.
Never had a losing record. Still won't have a losing record this year.
No, he got his 9 wins, buddy.
Yep, he's got them. he seems like a good football team CEO. Like he's the guy that's whipping everybody into a frenzy. He's like the Al Pacino playing the coach in The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Or not The Longest Yard. What's that one? What's that movie? It doesn't matter. He's the team's Tomlin is the team CEO type. He's like the Belichick. Belichick always had coordinators that were doing most of the heavy lifting on offense and defense, and Belichick was just kind of over the whole program. Tomlin seems to be the same way. I know he's more of a defensive-minded coach, but he's just the guy that's like, I'll take all the bullets for the team when things go wrong, and I'm going to motivate them when things are going right. And I've seen so many articles about, is it time to fire Mike Tomlin and all this? I just think you're crazy.
I don't think you can fire him, but I think you could have a discussion with him like, hey, we need a new voice here. Let's part amicably.
Yeah. I just think you're crazy to I think when was the last time he had a quarterback? Like it was Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was
they lost the Super Bowl
6 years ago. They went to 2 Super Bowls, won one and lost one. I mean, I don't know, man. I think if you have a guy that's going to take the crap, any crap that you throw him and turn it into a winning season every single year, like I don't know how you get rid of a guy.
I think you would really struggle to get rid of him. But back to the games.
Yeah, let's get back to them.
The Texans keep hanging around. I think we're both Texans fans at this point. We like watching them.
I might have a few shillings on Houston to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,200.
Well, they beat the Chargers 2016, and we were taking the Chargers pretty seriously, and they evened up their records at 11-5. And Houston can still win the division. They have clinched a playoff berth. Yeah. They are, I guess,
when we get
Jacksonville is where they're. Yeah,
Jacksonville's leading the division right now.
Yes,
they can. If Jacksonville loses this weekend and Houston wins, Houston will win the division on a tiebreaker.
Seems unlikely that Jacksonville loses this weekend.
Yeah, we'll get to those games in a little bit, but Houston basically did their just defensive brick wall against the Chargers, like they've been doing. They've been living on defense for 2 months now, and it's been working. Chargers didn't have, the Chargers have been banged up. That's another team that you get to the playoffs. I'm just not worried about the Chargers, but I think there's a possibility in these playoffs that 2 of the 3 best teams in the AFC are going to be wild card teams in Houston and Buffalo.
I agree with you. Justin Herbert led the team in rushing. That tells you all you need to know about that game.
Man.
They ran 22 times for 74 yards, which is 3.4 yards.
That's about right against Houston, though. I mean, that's what they're doing.
They're tough. They're tough as nails.
They're made for playoff games. They're made for tough playoff games where you want to make teams one-dimensional.
All right, the Ravens go into Green Bay and just dominate them, like make it make sense. It was a battle of backups, so let's start with that.
Right. Even these games that looked on paper like they were going to be great matchups in these Thursday and Saturday games, you still ended up the day with Malik Willis versus
Tyler Huntley. But let me tell you what Malik Willis did. He missed 3 throws all day, 18 of 21, 288 yards, a touchdown, no picks, 1 sack, a QBR of 94.5.
Tell you what else Malik Willis did, not just in this game, but in the last couple weeks. He's basically earned himself about $35 million.
Well, Tyler Huntley went 16 of 20 for only 107 yards, but he had a touchdown and 1 sack.
He still looked good. I mean, he didn't have to do a whole lot because
Derrick Henry.
Whew. I told you, we talked about this over text the day or two before. It was like the key to this game for the Ravens is Derrick Henry, 35 carries for 200 yards. And
well, you were close.
I was close. How many carries did he have?
36 for 216 and 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
Where has that been all year?
Okay, that's my question. Now, and I have a real bone to pick with with Baltimore because all they had to do was do that against the Patriots a week before, which they were on pace to do. And then I don't know if like Derrick Henry got into some legal trouble after the third quarter and had to be benched, but he just disappeared. All they had to do was keep feeding him the ball, and they beat the Patriots a week ago. And then we could be having a whole different discussion about the Bills and Patriots, which unfortunately we're not. But I don't understand it. This is one where when we talk about is it time for Mike Tomlin to go, I wonder about John Harbaugh here. I wonder if John Harbaugh is kind of nearing the end.
He's kind of in the same boat. He's been there forever. He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's lost a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I just wonder if he's one that should be kind of on his way out. I mean,
do you think either one of those guys with a change of scenery get their groove back, so to speak?
I don't know. I think John Harbaugh is probably a better.
They're both in their 60s.
Are they both in their 60s now?
Have to be.
I don't know if Tomlin is. I think Tomlin's still in his 50s.
We'll check.
I think both of them could be successful elsewhere. The problem is that
Mike Tomlin is 53. He's
53. Okay,
He's
I
my
thought.
age.
See, he was hired when he was in his. He was hired when he was
really
like
young.
32 or something like that.
My bad.
No, that's all right. You know, I think Harbaugh is a better like X's and O's guy than Tomlin is probably, but could either of them have success? You know, this is the other thing is there's a very short list of coaches that have won a Super Bowl or even been to a Super Bowl with two different teams. So if you expect to bring in Mike Tomlin, like does Mike Tomlin go to Arizona and have success? Does John Harbaugh go to Miami and turn that team around? Like, I don't know if he's a turn it around kind of. I don't know if these are turn it around kind of guys.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. They've been where they've been for so long that it's like they hired. A good example: the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Pete Carroll
hired Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
and
he's probably got about 10 days left working for the Raiders.
I don't know. I think they'll give him another year. They fired their coordinator, Chip Kelly.
Yeah,
but he's already got another job at Northwestern University.
Chip Kelly's going to be just fine. I think I would be surprised to see Pete Carroll get another year.
Okay.
I think it's been enough of a disaster that you got to look at this if you're ownership and Tom Brady or whatever the hell is going on with that leadership, with the leadership on that franchise. You've got to look at that and go, this was an unmitigated disaster. Like, we gave you the quarterback that you wanted. We drafted the running back that you wanted in Ashton Genty. I realize that they have no offensive line.
Their offensive line was so bad.
I mean, maybe Carroll can fall back on that. He may not want to come back again next year. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done on that team.
I hope when I'm 71 that I still want to do things that bring me joy and that kind of thing. And it must bring him joy to be an NFL football coach. But I don't know.
It brings him joy to chew gum.
I guess.
My goodness, he's a gum chewing machine.
Let's go on. The Bengals 6-10.
This is on to the Sunday games now.
Lambast the Cardinals 37-14.
Joe Burrow's having fun again, baby.
305 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't really want to belabor this game. The Bengals are idiots. They should not be playing Burrow to get him hurt. All they're doing is hurting their draft stock. Should somebody like put some kind of mind control, like some kind of hypnosis over this team, like before week 1, and just be like, guys, you're 2-11, and none of these games matter now. Like every week, none of these games matter. Right.
That's when they'll start steamrolling everybody.
I think what they should do is spend about $10 million more on their front office and scouting. I'll leave it at that.
They did have a couple. They did have their right guard is considered one of the best rookie offensive linemen this year.
Fantastic.
So there's some signs late in the year of some progress.
Burrow is 6-2 as a starter.
Yeah.
The best, what it was that we said. I heard this. I didn't make this up, but availability is one of the abilities you have to have in the NFL.
I guess. Fine. This isn't
Steelers.
like he has. This isn't like he has a recurring knee injury. Like,
Can we move on?
yeah, let's just go on.
I don't wanna
won't-
talk-
won't- I know.
I'm so
I won't-
mad.
I know. We should have just gone on from it.
Steelers.
I'm sorry, man.
The Steelers fucking blow their season to the Browns.
This is.
Oh my gosh.
We've covered this quite a bit. We covered this quite a bit just a minute ago, but I don't understand. There were some give up moments in this game too. Pittsburgh punted from Cleveland's 46 at one point when they were down 13-3.
Wow. That doesn't see. This is a Mike Tomlin issue.
See, this is the thing. That's weird, right?
That's old school.
Yeah.
Everybody's going for it now.
Yeah, I know. It was weird. Shedeur Sanders had his typical 185 yards throwing on, I don't know how many
Is
passes.
Shedeur Sanders in the league 4 years from now?
Well, he's in the league. Is he like on his?
Is
he still on
Shedeur
the Browns,
Sanders
or
a
is he
starter?
on his fifth team?
Is he a starter?
No.
Is he doing the Malik Willis dance around the league?
I think he's probably closer to Malik Willis than he is to Kyler Murray.
Is his ceiling Marcus Mariota?
Marcus Mariota is physically immensely talented.
He really is.
Shedeur, I think, has a little bit better football talent, a little bit better football intelligence than Mariota. But I don't know, man. We're talking about backup quarterbacks here. Look, if Shedeur has a career like Malik Willis or Jacoby Brissett or I'm trying to think of, or Daniel Jones, like that's
his ceiling.
That's his ceiling, I think.
You know what is so interesting about this though? Like these father-son things, they're so rare. They really are rare. That
oh yeah.
You have a father who was an all-time great, and then you have a kid that actually makes the league.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's kid never sniffed the league.
Not very good.
Magic Johnson's kid never sniffed the league. None of those guys.
Bronny had to be dragged into the league by his dad. Who else? Oh, Scottie Pippen's son is like okay. The one that I'm interested to watch is Cameron Boozer.
That's a good one. You know,
except that Carlos Boozer wasn't
he was
great.
a very okay journeyman kind of big. So the reason I say that is I every time I think of the father-son thing, I think of Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. homering in the same game.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I think had more to gain there. Like Griffey Sr. hitting a home run when his kid is old enough to be in the show.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool. But Griffey came up pretty
yeah, he was like 19, 20.
Well, the father-son thing doesn't happen nearly as often in football as it does in baseball or basketball.
Well, you had a couple of recent examples, Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah.
And then you had the first baseman of Detroit, Cecil Fielder. Yep. So
I know Antoine Winfield Jr. who played for the Bucks. He played with Tom Brady, and his dad Antoine Winfield picked off a Tom Brady pass.
Oh, that's crazy.
In early 2000s.
Spanning Tom Brady is going to be like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing.
Right.
Like you can get there from here.
Yeah,
always.
half of the players that have played in this century have played against Tom Brady at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Where are we moving on to? New Orleans and Tennessee.
New Orleans beat Tennessee. I don't want to spend a second on this.
Tyler Shuck is for real, man.
Okay, great.
I'm calling it right now. Tyler
can't-
Shuck is the real deal.
He can't pronounce his own name.
Fine.
Shao.
Shoff.
No,
it's not either of those.
All right, the Jags finally put a dagger in the Colts season, and we're going to go with an aside here. Breaking news: Phillip Rivers' season is over.
Yeah.
As far as being a starter, he's been replaced for the last season with his mentee. So I don't think he's. Did he come back to start? Yes.
Yeah.
Does he want to see the guy that he's been mentoring all these years play? Probably also yes.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Phillip Rivers probably had some words for Shane Steichen when he told him that Riley Leonard was going to start this game.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Probably.
I know Phillip Rivers is nothing but just fiery. And for him to find out, even if it's a kid that he's been mentoring for however long, he wanted to play this game.
Of course he did.
He's going to want to play in the last week. But it's probably better that he doesn't because he sure didn't look good against the Jaguars.
Let's put a bow on the Phillip Rivers comeback. On a 1 to 10 scale, what would you rate it?
For overall success, 6.5. I mean, I'm giving it a solid C. Look, who else? What was their other option? Their option was just give up once Daniel Jones went down and start Riley Leonard because Riley Leonard is like 2 years away from being ready to start in the NFL.
I agree with you, but okay, I'm just going to give you the stats.
Okay.
Rivers threw 92 passes. He completed 63% for 544 yards, and he could not throw the ball 40 yards down the field if he had to.
Yeah.
Not accurately, not at all.
No.
Now, he could throw at 25, but it wasn't accurate very often. He had 4 touchdowns and 3 picks. His long completion of the year was 33 yards.
I believe that was on a screen, by the way.
His projected full season would have been 329 for 521, 63%, 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 17 picks, which is a little high on the picks for him, but like his last couple of years, that would kind of what he looked like.
It's right around the Dalton line.
I'll give you
That
this.
That's solid. That is like the average season for Andy Dalton.
I think his comeback is remarkable because he came back and looked competent after that many years away.
Yeah.
In his dad bod, not being able to get up as quickly as he used to be. I give it an 8, but I feel for the Colts because they really needed him to come in and win games. And that is just, you can't expect that.
An 8. You give it an 8.
I give it an 8.
You give it a B minus, basically.
Yeah, I think he came in and did everything he could possibly do. And even though they didn't win, they were in the games.
Okay. That's
he
fair.
Gave them a chance.
That's fair. In this game, Jacksonville's defense, I think, has become quite underrated.
Yeah, they held him 17 points.
They've kind of come on later in the season now. They held Jonathan Taylor under 100 yards. Let me look at the actual numbers on this. Jonathan Taylor had 21 carries for 70 yards.
I don't know where I come down on Jacksonville still. I just don't. Man,
it's hard to buy them yet because
they're
we
12-4. We can't keep sleeping on them.
I know, but what did you say their strength of schedule was?
Terrible.
It's pretty bad, right? I mean, they're playing under 500 teams most of the time. They play in the AFC South, which I guess you could say, well, okay, AFC South has been pretty good. I do want to let's look at who they've actually played. So their losses were at Cincinnati in a game that Joe Burrow got hurt. They lost at home to Seattle and the Rams. They lost at Houston.
None of those are bad losses. Those are not bad losses. Cincinnati was supposed to be a playoff contender early this year.
They beat Houston. They beat San Francisco. They beat Kansas City earlier in the year. They beat Carolina.
I think their signature win is at the Broncos.
It probably is.
34-20.
For the importance of it and for the timing of it, yeah. I mean, they've had some good wins.
Losing to the Seahawks, losing to the Rams, that's losing to the Texans even. That was in Houston.
I think the trouble that I have with them is we've still got to see something from Trevor Lawrence that's going to make us forget what Trevor Lawrence has been.
I don't think we're going to
the first few years.
I don't think we're going to see it. I think Trevor Lawrence is who he is.
So you think he can so basically what that means is at any time he can just brain fart a game completely.
I'm betting on it. Okay. I think he will. I'm just saying I think they're pretty good, 12-4.
Okay.
All right. On the flip side of the coin, the Dolphins they don't quite end the Bucs season, but they put it in great peril.
Man.
The Buccaneers get beat by the hapless Dolphins 2017, and we had such high hopes early on for Tampa. They're not eliminated. They still have a chance to win the South.
Okay, let's talk about the weird. Well, I guess we'll save this for when we go over.
Well,
the
Carolina
previews.
is 8-8. Tampa
Yeah.
Bay 7-9.
Right.
They win the tiebreak over Atlanta based on the best win percentage in common games.
Okay, so that's what it says on the. That's what it says right now. That's because Tampa has the tiebreaker at 7-9. What happens though is, so you got this game coming up on Saturday that we'll talk about, where if Tampa Bay wins, they still need Atlanta to lose.
Isn't that weird?
Isn't that is
to
weird?
to win the
To win the South and make the play. And by the way, the only way that either of these two teams, Carolina and Tampa Bay, can make the playoffs is if they win the division. Otherwise, they're 2 games short of a wild card, which just goes to show like that you're going to have one of these. I think you're just destined to have one of these conferences, one of these divisions every year that's just in each conference that's just terrible.
Hey, that's just the way it's
a 9-8, 8-9 winner, and that's just how it goes.
All right, the Pats just annihilated the Jets 42-10.
Is Drake May now the MVP?
When do they give the MVP?
I don't know.
Drake May only missed 2 passes and he had 5 touchdowns.
So it's a regular season award. I think they vote right after the season, and then the award is given out in that weekend between the conference title games and the Super Bowl.
Had the Bills won, I think Josh Allen was going to be the MVP.
Over Stafford still.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
It's hard.
Drake May is an excellent quarterback right now. He's gonna be one of the greats. He's gonna be a great foil to Josh Allen for as long as they're both in the league and playing on the teams that they're on right now. I don't want any performance against the Jets to determine who's going to be the MVP. Everyone can tear up the Jets, man. Everyone. And it would have actually been a knock against him being an MVP if this had been 23-10 instead, and they're kind of doing enough to win instead of absolutely dominating the Jets. Don't tell me about Jets. Don't tell me about big wins over the Jets when we're talking about who the good teams are.
You don't learn anything in a 42-10 win over the Jets.
No. But it's probably going to be, because of the visibility and the timing of that game, I would not be surprised if Drake May now is the MVP. Even if I think
it's probably,
I think Stafford deserves it more.
All right.
Except for we'll get to that. We'll get to the Monday night game in a minute.
Okay, the Seahawks go to 13-3.
Yeah.
They beat the Panthers 27-10. They have 6 straight wins. Sam Darnold is still not a pumpkin, even though we've seen glimpses.
Did you watch this game at all? Did you watch any of this?
A little bit.
Okay. Sam Darnold is going to be an issue. I'm just telling you.
It was check down mania.
He did not look good. He did not look good in this game. And I know that they won 27-10. I think they had a defensive touchdown. Carolina's offense just didn't show up. And Seattle's defense is pretty good, but I don't know if they're holding Carolina to 10 at home good.
All right. So Sam Darnold has almost 4,000 yards, and if he plays this week and plays well, he will have 4,000 yards.
Great.
That's 5th in the league.
Awesome.
25 touchdowns, tied for 7th.
Mm-hmm.
He has 14 picks, which is bad.
That's high.
Yeah.
That's high.
And he's 14th in QBR at 58.3.
Anything less than a 3-to-1 ratio, touchdowns to interceptions, is a little eyebrow raising at this point.
I mean, if he had 25 touchdowns and 8 picks, we would be having a different conversation.
Yep.
I'm willing to ride Seattle, even though I have seen them look bad or sketchy at times. I'm willing to ride them because I think they're going to play a bunch of games at home. And I think that is a really hard place to play.
So right now, as it stands today after week 17, I believe Seattle is the number 1 seed.
And all they have to do is win this week and make sure either San Francisco loses or they win.
Let me make sure of this. Yep.
Because they're 13-3, San Fran's 12-4.
Yep. San Francisco is a wild card by virtue of losing the West to Seattle. But if they win and Seattle loses, they have a tiebreaker over Seattle by which they win the West and San Francisco becomes the number 1 seed.
So this weekend slate is critical for the Seahawks.
This weekend's slate, this weekend's games,
at the 49ers.
These weekend's games are when we are going to find out if 2024 Sam Darnold is still in there.
All right.
I'm betting that he is. I'm just saying.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Quick side note. The Panthers had a chance and they blew it. They were at home.
Yeah.
The Giants beat the Raiders, and that is all I'm going to say about that game. I swear to you, if you say another word, I'm going to stop the podcast. We're going to have words in private.
I can't talk about Jackson Dart. I didn't watch this game. I'm kidding. Go on.
Eagles 13-12 over the Bills. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
All right. It was pouring rain.
It was
such a disaster. Like
the worst conditions.
It was pouring to the point where, like, when guys hit the ground and slid, like it was like they were skimming across a puddle. The drainage system was not keeping up with the amount of rain that was hitting Buffalo. It was 38 degrees at kickoff, which is about the worst kind of weather. Pouring rain.
Another 7 degrees, and we had a beautiful snow game.
I'm talking like a drenching rain combined with 38 degrees, dropping down to about 34 by the end of that game.
It was
awful. It was miserable.
Awful.
Josh Allen seemed to re-aggravate his foot or his ankle, whichever one it is that's hurt.
Yeah.
About 2 quarters into this game, at which point I said, now, here's the thing about this game. It didn't really matter that much. I mean, the Bills, if they had won it, they'd still have a chance at the AFC East title, but not really. Because New England plays Miami at home, and they're not going to lose that game.
I agree with you on that.
The thing about it is, there were just weird decisions made in this game. Neither team looked very good.
Well, here's the biggest problem. Yes, weird decisions, all of those kinds of things. Josh Allen had 2 fumbles and he lost 1.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia managed to hang on to the ball. They did not have any fumbles.
This is true.
So there were a lot of punts. There were a lot of drop balls.
Yeah.
They were switching gloves.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Even though Josh still had 23 or 35 for 262, that's a little misleading.
He was sacked 5
times.
That's a bad one.
Under duress the entire game.
Cook couldn't really get going.
He had 100 yards receiving. Brandon Cooks did, but James Cook had 20 for 74.
Yeah, James Cook.
He was okay.
Yeah, he was fine. He was getting gash plays when they needed him to, but they couldn't finish drives. Like Josh had the weird fumble in the first half that went backwards somehow, like 30 yards. It was a strange game all around.
Well, Josh Allen had a play in that game that was unforgivable, where he ran around.
Which one?
25 yards backwards and gets sacked.
I know. There were also
you cannot do that.
There were some weird coaching decisions too. Like they went for it on 4th and goal from like 3 yards out when they were, I think at the time they were down.
Yeah, anytime if they kick any point in
you
time,
got to take points there.
If you kick it in those conditions,
then they score the touchdown. They get the extra point blocked to make it 13-6. But then at the end, on the last drive of the game, now I've heard everybody defending Sean McDermott's choice to go for 2 and the win instead of kicking the extra point and going to overtime. I get it. It's not the right call, and I don't care. I'm not saying this in hindsight. If Josh Allen had not missed a wide open receiver in the back of the end zone and they'd gotten the 2 points and they'd won, I still would say it's not the right call. Buffalo's defense held the Eagles to under 20 total yards for the entire second half.
Yeah, they were really on fire.
And you're telling me you don't want to go to overtime with that?
I watched Josh Allen gack that throw, and I knew it was seeing that guy wide open. I was like, oh my gosh, he's open.
Yeah.
And then
He just
Allen
sailed
missed
it.
him by 2 yards.
He sailed it.
It wasn't even close.
No, he sailed it. It was. I don't know if it was the ball was wet. He was moving. It's his right. It's right foot ankle that's hurt. So there could be. His throwing motion might not be right.
Do you play him this week, or do you just say sit this one out, bub? We're a wild card team either way.
Well, he's gonna play. This game doesn't really matter for them other than seeding. But you are not going to bench Josh Allen in the last game at that football stadium because they're moving into the new football stadium next year.
Yeah, I know.
So you are not benching Josh Allen. Now he might come out and play one series or a quarter or a half, but he's not playing that whole game. And if he does, God help them because first of all you don't need Josh Allen to beat the Jets at home. Mitch Trubisky will be just fine against the Jets at home this week. So I hope they don't play him very much. And this is the other thing about it. It's like just the whole thing was frustrating. I don't mind losing a game like this that doesn't really matter against a team that, the Eagles, we should probably talk about the Eagles. I think they're one of the 3 best teams in the NFC now.
Man, I don't know. I just can't get with the Eagles.
But they do what they need to do, and their defense is ridiculous.
Their defense is good, but Jalen Hurts had a terrible night.
Yeah.
13 of 27 for 110 yards.
But that's kind of what they're asking them to do.
I know.
And especially in that weather. I don't know, man. I think the Eagles. I would be nervous about the Eagles and the Niners at this point in the playoffs.
All right.
And probably the Rams too, but we'll get to them in just a second. Just a frustrating game. Bills should have won, and honestly, I don't know if I would have cared if they did.
The best game of the week was the Bears at the 49ers, and the Niners come away 42-38, just keeping their chances to win the NFC West alive. The Bears, I think, are going to win the North, right?
Yeah.
They've already clinched that.
They've clinched it. Yep, it's over. The Bears are your NFC North champions. Congratulations
to the Bears, who have not had a season this good in some years. It's not been since '85, but it's been a while.
No, it's been like it was whatever that year was. They had, was it Rex Grossman when they went to the Super Bowl?
Was it Rex Grossman?
Or no. It wasn't the Rex Grossman year. There was a year when Dick Duran was the coach, and they finished with the 1 or 2 seed, and then they got housed in the second round of the playoffs.
Was that a Jay? What was his name?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
I think that was a Jay Cutler
year.
Yeah.
Well, this was a thrilling game. I have a Bears friend of mine, longtime childhood friend, and I messaged him and I was like, "This is a great game," and he messages me back and he was like, "If you don't like defense."
Well, I mean,
so
sometimes
shout out to Jerry. Way to look at the not bright side of things.
Yeah, no shit, man. Like, how about you just enjoy it? Come on.
Is Caleb Williams good?
Man, I think he is.
You think he's good?
I think he is. I think he's going to be okay. He's shown me enough to think maybe you just have to erase last year from the memory, because he was on a coaching staff that was on his way out. The head coach got fired halfway through the season. It was just a mess. It was a messy situation, and I think Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson is going to be able to turn that guy into something really special. Which it would be the first time in Bears history that you've actually got somebody who you can say is like, this guy has potential. Would you say he has MVP potential down the line? Like, what's your thought on Caleb Williams?
I think he has a real chance to be in that top 6 or 7 echelon once let's say 5 years down the road when we're looking at Josh Allen and going, maybe he's not the maybe he's not top 5 anymore.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow, when those guys are in their
in
mid-late.
the like 33, 34 range.
Yeah, so who would be? I think he has a chance to be in the top 5 or 6 at that point.
I agree. I think you got to watch for him and Drake May, and maybe Trevor Lawrence is starting to. The light is starting to go on.
I don't know if the light is going on for Trevor Lawrence. I think he's just got better guys around him.
Bo Nix. You think Bo Nix is going to be in this conversation for a long time? Tyler Shuck.
You're on Tyler
My boy,
Shuck.
listen, man, I'm on Tyler Shuck. Jackson Dart. There's some young guys that showed some promise this year. But, I mean, as far as Caleb Williams goes, every single bit, I think he threw probably the best. He threw the best pass that I've seen this year, or at least in way up on the list when he just flicked a 50-yarder in the air for a touchdown. It was in the second half, I think. It was just a ridiculous throw, and that's why he was the number 1 pick, and that's why he was sort of anointed 2 years before he even came out of college.
On the other hand, there's Brock Purdy, who, he just wins games.
Look, man, he's like, are we going to look up at some point and say Brock Purdy has evolved into like a Drew Brees type of?
I don't know,
type of player.
but he has career 68% completion percentage.
Yeah,
he averages roughly, when healthy, about 4,000 yards a season when he's healthy. He had 31 touchdowns in 23 against 11 picks. He only had 20 last year. He has 20 this year in limited games. I mean, he's played 8 games and he has 20 touchdowns and 9 picks.
He was dinged up a little bit last year. I think he missed 2 games with a concussion, and then he was not right for part of the season. But
so
it reminds me of early career Drew Brees. Even like right down to like the size, the not great arm talent, but good enough, and just elite football smarts.
Well, this game was thrilling at the end. I don't know if you saw the end of this game.
I did. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. It makes me wonder if we need to reconsider our stance on the Bears as a playoff team.
If I said to you that this could be an NFC championship preview, you would say what?
What are the odds? Like, can I get like plus 300 on that?
I mean, I think
I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility.
I don't think so either.
The Bears are going to have probably 2 home games because they're going to probably be the 2 seed. In fact, I think they're more or less locked in. I think the chances are pretty high right now that they'll end up as the 2 seed.
Well, they win the tiebreak over Philly based on head-to-head win percentage.
Right.
And so then you've got your Seattle or Seattle, all they have to do is win and they're the number 1 seed.
It can only be Seattle or the 49ers as the 1 seed.
Correct.
At this point.
And then you've got the Bears, and they have to win this weekend. Philadelphia, the Bears host the Lions, so they're at home, which is good news for Bears fans.
Ooh, it's going to be cold up there.
And the Eagles have the Commanders. So, assuming they both win, it's the Bears as the 2 seed. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's very little chance of the Bears. Look, that means the Bears will have at least 2 home playoff games.
Yep.
In Chicago in January.
Hey.
I don't want to play there, do you?
No, I don't want to play there, and I don't want to play against a guy that has put another season under his belt where he has looked pretty good.
Yeah. There is something to them. Now, we could be looking up and they're just getting slapped around at home by the Packers in the first round.
It's possible.
The Packers who are already locked into the 7 seed. But like the Packers are the 7 seed. End of discussion. The only things that are up for grabs now are the in between the wild cards and the divisions.
Just keep this in mind.
Yeah.
When Caleb Williams has to throw the ball a lot, and he's thrown 535 attempts, they're not going to be nearly as effective. He's just not an accurate passer yet. 58%. Probably one of the worst starters in the league, percentage-wise.
That's fair. Yep. Well, we'll see. You get into January, you got to have a good defense and good run game, right?
So that was the Sunday night game, and the Rams somehow come to Atlanta and gack it away.
They spotted Atlanta 21 points. There was a crazy pick six. There was a terrible throw by Stafford that turned into a pick six. This game had a blocked field goal returned for a touchdown by the Rams. Like at one point I texted you and said, I don't know how much of this, the Rams are fucked. And then they came back from 21 down and tied it at 24. And by this point, I was just like, I have no idea what's going on.
I think they just ran out of gas.
I think the Rams, they may have taken this one a little bit lightly. They might have been looking ahead.
You hate to hear that.
I know, but it didn't look like they just looked confused in the entire first half. They looked like they couldn't understand what was happening until it was too late. And Stafford did not look good. He was airmailing a lot of passes in this game. Part of that is that Atlanta's got an underrated defensive line. I will say that.
Well, all the Rams did, though, was knock themselves out of contention for being the number one seed.
Right. Yeah. They can't win the West now.
Nope.
And they can't be the number one seed. So they're basically locked in as like probably the best 5 seed we've ever seen.
No, they're the 6.
They're definitely the 6.
Well,
so either Seattle or San Francisco, whoever doesn't win the West is going to be the 5th.
Is the 5.
Man, that division.
Well, let's see. If the Rams win, they're 12-5. If the 49ers lose, they're also 12-5. So we'd have to see who the tiebreaker
Okay.
is.
I think there's a chance. There is a situation where the Rams are the 5th seed, and maybe it's the 49ers end up the 6th seed.
I think that's the possibility.
Okay. Either way,
there was a chart out there.
Either way, 2 of the best teams in the NFC are going to be wild card teams.
I agree with you.
That's crazy.
The NFC West was tough.
The NFC West really, and this is again, I'm going to continue to campaign for Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year because how he has coaxed this out of a team with 2 major injuries on defense, having to play Mac Jones for half the year while Purdy is out. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand how he's done it. Name a receiver on the 49ers. Juwan Jennings, and then what? Who after that? Like McCaffrey's been they've kind of managed his workload really well.
Man, he has been so good.
Man, he really has. That's a team that I'm just scared of, man. That's a team that I would be scared. I'd be scared to play him in the NFC playoffs, and I would really not like to see them in the Super Bowl either.
Christian McCaffrey leads the team in rushing yards and receiving yards.
Back to the Falcons real quick. It was a little resurgence for our boy Kirk Cousins up there.
Yeah,
he's kind of. It looks like he's trying to earn just like another 2-year deal someplace.
Where would you go if you're Kirk Cousins? Would you go to Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh is an option. I think you're going to have to look at Indianapolis next year because Daniel Jones is on a 1-year deal, so he's going to be a free agent this offseason. And I don't know how committed they are to him. I mean, they said all the right things about him this year, but now he's coming off of a major injury.
Yep.
I mean, he's basically lost both his. He hurt both of his legs within the span of 3 weeks this year. So, I think you could make an argument that he would work in Miami. Because Miami looks like they're ready to move on.
I think they have to move on from Tua.
They have to. I mean, you can't bench Tua for the last 2 games of the season and say we're going with the 7th round rookie to start the last 2 games and keep Tua around. He's going to be a cut or he's going to be traded or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's places for Cousins to go. Might be a good idea to have him back up Joe Burrow.
Let's not go there.
Okay.
All right, let's go to a break, and then we'll come back and we'll look over the schedule for the upcoming week, and then we'll make some picks, update you on the contest. Oof. And then for the last segment, I can't remember what we said in the pregame, but
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll get there in a minute.
Yeah.
What are we watching? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, what are we watching during Christmas break? Okay.
All right, we'll be back.
Are you ready for a contest update?
I'm resigned.
I already made you feel kind of bad by continuing to talk about the Bengals long after you won.
I'm resigned to it.
Okay.
This has not been my year, Andrew. It's not been my year.
No. Hey, look, I was thinking about this today. Last year you were killing it towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And when we were doing like our practice podcast, we were doing rounds and rounds of practice podcasts for whatever. We kind of had developed this. It was like you were kind of the guy that was looking at a lot of numbers, and I was the guy that was like introducing to you to concepts like bad juju and like picking games on.
It's true.
Picking games on like feel, you know?
Right.
And it's kind of flipped. Like I'm looking at a lot more numbers nowadays, and you're the one texting me going, like you texted me at the one of the games. I don't remember which one it was, but you were like, the juju is bad in this one. I was like,
maybe I'm just trying to speak your language. I don't know.
Like the whole premise of what this podcast was supposed to be was like the football professor versus the juju guy.
You're right.
And now we're just we melded into one person.
I'm so flummoxed by this season. Like it's been really tough. Yeah. And we shoot ourselves in the foot occasionally with one more thing that we shouldn't put in a parlay or should we do a parlay at all?
Yeah.
Or me trying to navigate over-unders.
I think there's going to be probably a shift in strategy for the contest next year.
I think I will just try to hit singles instead of triples and homers all the time.
Yeah.
But I promise you for this last week, we're going for broke.
We're going. Well, yeah.
We'll see. We're already there.
We'll see. Right now, okay, so my picks, I didn't do great, but I had a Green Bay Houston money line parlay that didn't hit because Green Bay, whatever happened to them. I had a single bet on Detroit at -7. They didn't even bother to get off the plane. I had Jackson -6.5 and the over 48.5, which didn't hit. I did get New Orleans -3. I got them at -104. And I thought I had this wrong at one point. I had Cincinnati -7 and under 53.5. I thought I had the over 53.5 as I was watching that game. So I was like, field goal, come on. They finished at like 51 points.
Yeah,
right?
we were talking about that. So you had that wrong all the way.
But I did get it. I hit the Cincinnati -7 and the under 53.5. So I netted a little over 11 pesos this week.
Hey,
you
XXX,
just a triple X showdown, man. It's been 2 straight weeks for you, unfortunately, and I'm not recapping this to shove it in your face. I'm just saying it for the
numbers are the numbers.
The numbers. You are what your record says you are, I guess.
This year has been.
Yeah, I am in the positive. 500 and about 567 pesos.
All right.
You are in the negative by 577 pesos. Jesus. You are currently 1,144.57 pesos behind me. So
I don't think I can make that up in a week.
Well, my only question is do you want a blue or a white Bills hat?
I want a white hat.
A white one? Okay. All right.
The Bills are going to surrender.
I've got some ideas. I haven't ordered anything yet because as soon as I order a hat, you're gonna go on the most incredible playoff run that the world has ever seen. Because the playoffs do count for the contest.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, didn't we say that? We're going all the way through the Super Bowl.
All right.
I mean, we will. Let's extend it through the Super Bowl. Let's keep the misery going.
Is it still going to be 100 pesos a week? We're making this up.
I don't know.
We have not talked about this.
At one point, we were like, we're going to do an extra extra something in the playoffs. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll get there.
Well, I'll just go through them. You had a Dallas, Detroit, Denver money line. Detroit was the killer there. Cincinnati, Jacksonville, and then Carolina +7.5. Carolina scored 10
shit
points.
the bed on
They
this.
really did. And then you had a Detroit -7 and Denver money line. Or that parlay was +1. You didn't hit that. So it's been ugly, but you know what? You last year was your year. This year is kind of my year. So
it's okay.
I'm living up. Listen, I'm living off of the Thanksgiving wins right now. So it's it is what it is.
I'm glad somebody's doing well.
Well,
since we have a gambling podcast.
I'm glad.
Allegedly.
I'm glad it's me.
All right. Let's go to no Thursday night game.
Week 18. Listen.
For the guy that has railed against the Thursday night game, are you sad to see it go away?
Fuck no. Are you kidding me?
I like football on Thursdays.
I know, but this Thursday is New Year's Day.
What better time to have football?
I guess. I don't know. It's too many important games. Well, not really. By the way, this is week 18, which we talk about the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week. This is week 18 brought to you by 1-800-GAMBLER.
All of them are tough.
It's week 1800-GAMBLER.
All right.
Some of these games, they line this up so that on Saturday you've got
all
two
divisions.
Saturday you've got two games that mean something, and from 1 o'clock until 4:30, there is not a single game that means anything.
Okay. I think they're all but a couple of 1-800-GAMBLER games.
Probably.
We're going to get some money down on this.
Yeah. So Carolina, Tampa Bay first. Saturday at 4:30.
The Tampa Bay is 2.5 points. I need to look at FanDuel and make sure they're also 2.5 points. Tampa Bay is -3 on FanDuel.
Okay.
This is the rock and a hard place. How can you get money down on the Panthers? How can you get money down on the Buccaneers? Somebody has to win.
Oh.
It feels like a teaser. If I'm doing anything with this, I'm taking I'm taking the Panthers up to like 7 or 8. Because I think it will be a close game. The Bucs have shown every ability to suck.
They really have, and this is in Tampa Bay, which I have to assume is the reason that, I don't know. I guess I agree with the 3-point line here. Tampa's -146 money line. Panthers are +124. There are a couple scenarios where you put the Panthers in something and the Buccaneers in something that's very similar,
Yeah, I want to tease this if I'm going any direction at all.
Yeah.
I don't trust the Bucs at home. I think the Panthers are a little bit better, but I'm not sure how much better.
I would go up to 7.5 for Carolina.
Okay. I'm
on the
with you
road.
on that. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Seahawks at 49ers. This is the biggest game of the week, and it happens to be on Saturday, 8 o'clock on ABC.
This is for the 1 seed.
Yeah, this is huge.
Any way you slice this is pretty much for the 1 seed. The loser, by the way, is going to be either the 5th or the 6th seed, depending on how the Rams do.
And the most, I think, dangerous. Both of these teams are dangerous.
Very.
The Seahawks are favored by 1.5. I don't quite get that, but again, I want the 49ers up to like 4.5.
Yeah, I'm almost willing to just take the 49ers and the points.
Okay. A point you're willing to take.
Or just take a 1.5, maybe just 49ers money line.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's -104. Niners are -104. Seahawks are -112. This is just one of those games. We're going to find out here. Can Sam Darnold do it in a big spot? Like a really legit,
on the
stakes
road,
on the line, because he didn't do it last year. Does he have it in him, or is he going to be the Sam Darnold of the last 2 weeks last year, or the last 2 games last year when they got murdered in Week 18 with the number 1 seed on the line, and then they got murdered another week later in the playoffs?
This is the unstoppable force against the immovable object too, because the 49er offense. I know they don't have any big name receiver, but damn. They didn't punt for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It was like 19 straight drives that they
didn't
they did not punt. Now, sometimes they turn the ball over.
Sure, but still.
Sometimes they scored points. But yeah, that's still a long that's quite successful. I like San Francisco in this one.
All right. The Saints are out. This is the 1 o'clock slate.
By the way, we have 6 1 o'clock games and 7 4 o'clock games.
So
4:25 games.
As a collective, the 1 o'clock games are the one that maybe matters are the Packers at the Vikings. And
no.
The Jags need to win. And the Texans need to win.
The Packers are locked into the 7 seed. They can't go up. They can't miss the playoffs. So I don't think that game. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure they play their starters. I think the only game that really makes any difference here.
The Falcons, if the Falcons win, they affect the NFC South outcome some way, possibly. The Colts and the Texans can do some damage in the AFC South.
So Houston can win the AFC South if Jacksonville loses to Tennessee. Jacksonville and Houston are both home. Houston's playing Indianapolis. Jacksonville's playing Tennessee.
Good on the schedule makers. I do like the division. The games coming down to the end, and they're all division games.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Yeah.
Quickly go through them. The Saints are 3.5-point dogs.
I'm showing 3.
Okay, I've got 3 on FanDuel.
Okay,
yeah.
I like the Saints here.
I agree with you. I think you're right on Tyler Shuck that he has a chance. I think the Falcons are just playing out the string.
The Saints are hot, and they seem to think that they're like building something here. You know, they seem like a team that's excited to be playing, even when there's nothing to play for. Atlanta was just in spoiler mode against the Rams.
Yep.
I mean, Bijan Robinson had a 93-yard touchdown run in that game. They were killing it all game. Bijan Robinson, who, by the way, almost single-handedly swung the title game in our fantasy football.
Yeah, in our fantasy football.
That thing got interesting for a minute. I like New Orleans. I like the New Orleans money line at plus 140. Honestly,
okay.
I think they win outright. I think the Falcons are probably going to show. Kirk Cousins is going to be playing. Kirk Cousins wasn't great against the Rams. He didn't need to be because Bijan Robinson was running all over the place. I like New Orleans plus 140. You tell me what you think.
I'm with you on that. I can't get money on the Falcons. If I'm doing anything, I'll go with the Saints.
Especially not at minus. Falcons -3. I don't know why we think Atlanta's better.
I don't know why we're talking about this game.
Yeah, okay.
Titans at Jaguars. The Jaguars are 12.5-point favorites, and they have something to play for. Your thoughts?
Pass.
12.5 points is so many.
I don't know that I trust Trevor Lawrence here. Cam Ward's been playing pretty good football, and I'd be sweating through my pants watching this game.
The Jags are going to get in a parlay for me, and it might be a 9 or 10 teamer.
Okay, so you're on them. I'm saying pass. I don't.
I think the Jags are going to beat them bad.
Okay.
All right, Colts at Texans. The Texans are 10.5-point favorites.
That's too much.
I don't think it is. Okay, the Colts are starting a rookie quarterback, and the Texans have the best defense in the league, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm willing to lay the 10.5. It's a good number.
The Texans have to. Their offense has to be firing well enough to win by 10.5.
The Colts don't have anything to play for.
The Colts have a pretty good defense.
The Colts don't have anything to play for.
The Houston offense to me, they're up and down. I haven't seen anything that makes me confident in them yet.
They're definitely getting a parlay for me, and I might be willing to lay like 8 points.
I'm probably going to pass on this game, but if I had to pick it, I'll take the Texans down to like 6.5.
All right, we've got the first really, really weird line of the week. The Packers are getting 5.5 at the Vikings.
Okay, wait. Packers. This is probably because I can almost guarantee they're not starting anybody in this game.
Okay, so that's where that.
Because it doesn't matter for the Packers.
That's a stay away from me.
Yeah, that's a pass for me too. This is where it's just don't bet on these games that don't mean anything.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
This is a complete stay away.
Yeah.
All right, the Cowboys are They're giving 3.5 at the Giants.
I know I just said the rule, don't bet on games that don't mean anything. Cowboys in the over. Cowboys money line in the over. It just doesn't see it.
In New York.
Convince me not to do that.
I will not. I will not. Like, the Cowboys have one of the best offenses in the league.
Right. So they can put up 35 on their own.
Yeah, I don't know that the Giants can put up 18, but maybe.
Okay.
All right.
I think the Giants can against the Cowboys defense.
They gelled a little bit toward the end of the year, I think, but the Giants are bad.
You're passing on this one.
I'm passing.
Okay.
They're bad. The Giants are bad. I am willing to lay the 7.5 points the Bengals are giving to the Browns.
Okay.
I don't know about over-under on that because the Browns may only score 10 or 13, something like that.
This might be a 17-10 game.
Yeah.
The way the Browns the Browns defense is really good.
I think it's going to be more like 21-10, but I'm probably on the under, but I don't really want to do over-unders right now.
You've also got Myles Garrett watch. He's a half a sack away from the record.
It's not like the Bengals ever give up sacks.
Is this so? This is the interesting thing that the Steelers. Myles Garrett said after the Browns beat the Steelers last week that it felt like the Steelers were more interested in preventing him from getting the sack record than they were in winning the game.
That seems far-fetched.
Well, look, the way that game went, it's not crazy. If Tomlin came out and was like, "Oh, actually, we didn't care. Like, we know we got Baltimore next week. We just didn't want Myles Garrett to get the record." I would have been like, "All right, I guess."
I don't know. I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. So you're saying Bengals minus.
I'm laying the points.
Okay. I agree with you, by the way. The Bengals seem to it's like they want to prove something.
When it doesn't matter,
When it
they
doesn't
show
matter.
up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Can we just tell them at the beginning of the year, like, none of these games matter, guys. You're already out of the playoffs.
If we can get a hypnotist to do that, then I would be okay with it.
Okay. Let's look into that.
Cardinals are getting 7.5 at LA. This is the first of the 4:00 games according to FanDuel.
Yeah. That's pretty set. I mean, those are set for sure. The Rams need this game they need it to they can get up to the 5 seed.
Okay, does it matter to them if they're the 5?
Well, if they're the 5 seed, they get to play the Bears in the first round of the playoffs. If they're the 6 seed, they're probably going to end up playing the Eagles.
I don't know which one I'd rather play.
I don't think I want to go on the road. I don't think I want to go on the road to the Eagles. Do you? The Rams? Well, but you could go to Chicago. Ooh, I don't know. They're going to want to win this game, right? They're going to want to
definitely want to win this game.
The Cardinals are probably looking at,
unless something happens in the early games that locks them into their seed, and I don't think that's.
I don't see there's any. There's nothing going on in the early games that makes any difference there. I think if San Francisco wins on Saturday, then Seattle is going to end up locked into the 5 seed because they'll automatically have a better record, better shot at having they'll have the tiebreaker over the Rams at that point.
Right.
So if this is where I'm like, I don't know if you can put this in the picks because depending on how Seattle-San Francisco goes on Saturday, it's going to affect whether the Rams even start anybody. So that might be a pass for me.
All right, that's a good call.
Yeah.
All right, the Lions are getting 3 points at the Bears. The Bears need this game, I think.
Bears money line all day. They're minus 158. The Lions are not going to Chicago with nothing to play for and keeping this close, are they?
I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think so.
That is Chicago. That's Chicago minus 158 for me, and that's going into a parlay with something.
Okay.
Probably with a Chicago San Francisco money line sounds really good.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, the Commanders are getting 7 at the Eagles. We just saw this.
The Eagles, yeah. The Eagles they can't get up to like a 2 or 3 seed. Well, they can't get up to a 2 seed. They're not going to be a 4 seed because that's going to be whoever wins the South. So they're kind of locked in to the 3 seed at this point.
They just beat Washington 29-18 in Washington.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason that they will not be beating them again by at least 7 points.
Question is whether they play their starters. Do they start their starters and do they play the whole game? Is my question. Because it really doesn't benefit them to win this. Does it?
Let's see. Panthers, Bucks have no effect on them.
I'll tell you what I would do on this one. I would take Philly money line, even though it's minus 330. You could put that as a little kicker with Chicago and San Francisco money line. Bump your.
That's the hard part about this last week.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I like Philly. I like the Philly money line. I'm not willing to touch points there because it's just there's a chance it could get weird. The under is 41.5, by the way. Keep an eye on that. Because this is going to be in Philly, which it's probably going to be cold.
Yep.
Commanders are just washed. Okay, I'm going money line on that. Are you on that, or are you staying away?
I'll probably stay away from that.
Okay.
I just don't think there's any reason that the Eagles lose that.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe it is a money line.
Okay.
Um,
Chargers at Broncos. That's
11.5.
Chargers cannot improve their playoff seed. They may not be starting anyone. The Broncos have the number 1 seed on the line here. Like, they have to win this.
Okay.
So it's possible the Chargers just lay down, partly so that maybe they don't have to play the Broncos in the first round of the playoffs. Right?
I mean, I think I put that in a parlay, but 11.5 just seems
11.5 is too much. I don't like that. I like over 36.5. I do like that.
Okay.
I might just throw that over 36.5 in there. You're passing on this one?
I'm passing on this one.
Okay.
The New York Football Jets are at your Buffalo Bills. Bills are giving 7.5.
This is the last game in the old stadium for the Bills. They move into a new stadium next year. They've been in what is now New Era, Ralph Wilson Stadium, New Era Field, whatever the hell it's called. They've been there for over 50 years, and there is not a chance in hell they're losing this game. Like, they will do what they need to do to win this game. Whether it's cold, whether it's snowing, whether it's rainy, it doesn't matter.
It's the last regular season.
They're bringing out the red helmets again. Did you know that? They're wearing the old school 90s threads for this. Josh Allen might start. He's going to start. He might not play the whole game, and that's fine because I think Mitch Trubisky can do more than enough to beat the Jets by. I don't know if I would lay 7.5. I might move that to 6.5. But they're not losing this game. I'm just telling you right now. They're not losing this game against the Jets in the last game. And if they do, I might just walk into traffic. What do you got on? Are you skipping this one or what?
No, I'll lay them money line.
Okay.
All right. We've got the Dolphins at the Patriots at 4:30. The Patriots are giving 10.5. They're just too many.
Is it too many in New England? Miami doesn't have anything to play for.
The Patriots definitely do.
Mike, whatever his name is, not Mike McDonald. That's Seattle.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
He's playing for his job.
Playing for his job. If he can even save his job right now. But it's going to be Patriots. 10.5. I don't know. I think you can make an argument that 10.5 is about right. They should win this by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
If they're the Patriots that we saw against the Jets last week.
I don't want to do double digits, but I agree with you. It could be big.
I would pick them at 10.5.
All right. The next game is for me, it's the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week. It is the out of the playoffs Chiefs at the out of the playoffs 3 weeks ago Raiders.
Oladokin, Gino. It's football.
Dun, 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 dun. No. There's no Monday Night Football this week either.
No, they don't ever have a Monday night the last week of the year.
All right.
They want everybody to get the same rest for the playoffs.
I must stay away for this.
I don't. No, you can't. This is a total pass. This is the pass of the year. How can you pick this? I don't even know how they came up with that line. How do you come up with a 5.5 line? Other than there's got to be public money on the Chiefs, right? There's got to just be people picking the Chiefs because they're just Chiefs.
Someone threw a die, one single die, and they said whatever the number is, add a half.
That's good. It's as good a method as any, because I don't know what's going to happen in this one.
All right, the last regular season game of the year is the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The AFC North on the line. Baltimore has to have a win. Pittsburgh can still.
The winner of this wins the division. The loser is out of the playoffs.
Correct. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm here for you, baby. I got you. The question I have is Lamar going to play, and is he going to be Lamar, or is he going to be 90% Lamar? Or is he going to be 85% Lamar?
The Steelers are getting 3.5 points at home.
Okay.
And I'm willing, even though they laid an egg last week, I think that they will rally the troops and cover that 3.5. Give me the Steelers money line because Baltimore is in disarray.
Okay. Steelers money line for you.
I don't like any of the mojo or the juju around Baltimore.
I don't either. I haven't all year. I'm taking this. That said, I'm taking Steelers plus 3.5 because I can see a weird the Steelers were better all game, except all of a sudden Baltimore is kicking a field goal to win by 2. That's a possibility. I think it's in play one way or another. This is you're basically playing for the right to get your ass kicked at home in the first round of the playoffs because neither of these teams is win a playoff game. No way.
I agree with you. All right. Let's take a break, and then we will come back, and we will have our picks, and then we will talk about what we've been watching over Christmas break.
You just told me that you have a 9-leg parlay. Is that correct?
It's an 8-leg parlay.
8-leg parlay? Oh, it's the cousin of the 9-leg parlay.
Once removed.
Let's. I have 4 picks this week.
Let's hear your picks.
You just have 1 pick. You're putting the full
100 on
the whole 100 pesos
on one bet.
On one bet. All right, let me go through mine first.
Yeah,
and unlike weeks past, I'm actually sticking to some of the things that we said in our previews.
Okay, good.
I've got San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia money line. All 3 are favorites. I'm going money line. Well, on each of those, it's going to get me to plus 317. That's getting 30 pesos. I'm taking New Orleans, which is they're technically an underdog, but they're getting plus. They're getting a plus number. I think they're getting plus 140. And I'm taking Carolina at an alt line of plus 7.5. That was like minus 300 or something like that. But that gets me to plus 217. Putting those two together, I'm putting 20 pesos on it. I am taking Dallas money line against the Giants and the over 52.5. That's getting me to plus 184, putting 20 pesos on that one. And I am taking New England laying the points, the 10.5 points. With
laying the 10.5.
With Miami coming to town, I'm laying the points with New England. And then I'm also adding the Chargers and Broncos over 36.5 to that.
Okay.
36.5 for those two teams.
All right.
So we're talking like 20-17, and I got it.
All right.
So we'll put those together, plus 256, putting through 30 pesos on that one.
I just want to tip my hat to you for a great regular season. I'm coming for you in the playoffs.
I had like 4 good weeks, I think, and that's pretty much what's in the bonus 50 on Thanksgiving was really what I'm living on right now. So
yeah, you had a good week on that.
yeah. All right, let's hear your 8-legger. This is going to be interesting.
All right. Jacksonville is minus 850. Houston is minus 600. Hosting the Colts. The Bengals are minus 390, hosting the Browns. The Los Angeles Rams are minus 350, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. The Eagles are minus 330, hosting the Commanders. The Denver Broncos are minus 820, hosting the Chargers, and that's because the Chargers, may not have anything to play for.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills are minus 360, hosting the Jets. And the New England Patriots are minus 670, hosting the Miami Dolphins. These are all home games, 8 of them.
8 home favorites.
And it gets me to plus 352. And that's 100 pesos.
All eggs in one basket.
All eggs in one basket.
I love it. It's going to pay. The payout will be 452 pesos if you hit that.
You know who messes this up?
Oh, man. I can come up with a number of them. Who would you say?
It's not the Bills. It's not the Patriots. It's not the Broncos, just simply because they have everything to play for and LA doesn't. It might be the Eagles. It might be the Eagles.
The Eagles against Washington at home? I think it's Jacksonville.
You think it's Jacksonville?
I think I just have a weird feeling about Jacksonville.
The Titans are so bad.
I know, but the Jacksonville just doesn't. They just are not doing it for me, man. I don't buy it yet. I could be wrong. I could be just barking up the wrong tree with this, but I gotta see it consistently from Trevor Lawrence for more than like 3 weeks.
Every exponent adds a degree of difficulty, and I realize I have strung together too many exponents. That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right, man.
We're having fun.
Yeah. Okay. Those are the week 1800 gambler picks. We'll make up some new rules for the playoffs.
We have been on break now for 10 days, something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Since a while back.
Okay, Saturday to Saturday, Friday 7,
like
8, 9, 10,
days.
11. Today was 11th day. We're recording on Tuesday.
What have you been watching?
So we start off. Usually we have just a ton of Christmas movies on, and I'm saying like we'll be Christmas Day, Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. At Christmas Eve we usually are at my parents'. We come home, we start wrapping presents. We put on the Christmas Story, the classic Christmas Story.
Right.
We watch that somewhere between 4 and 8 times over the course of like Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Like Christmas Day is just on.
The story behind that movie is insane.
It is. Yeah.
The director had to make another movie in order to make that movie. It didn't make any money at the box office.
What was the movie? What was the movie you had to make?
A horror movie.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
Okay. Well,
but go on.
You look that up. But we watch Christmas Story. We watch Elf. Elf, I think, is like the modern classic. Like that's the most recent classic Christmas movie is Elf.
I agree with that.
There have been some other ones that they've tried to capture some of that magic. Like Will Ferrell was in one not long ago with Ryan Reynolds that just didn't do anything for me. Elf is like, I mean, it's a John Favreau. It's a masterclass in cinematography and directing by John Favreau. One of those where like he didn't use any special effects at all to make Will Ferrell look bigger than all the elves who were played by.
Oh no, it was all a camera trick.
Yeah, it was all forced perception and all that stuff. So
Yeah, right.
forced perspective.
He made the movie Porky's 2 the next day. And he had to make that movie in order to get to make A Christmas Story. And I don't know when the last time I saw Porky's 2 the next day was, but it's been a long time, and it was just happened to be on.
The next time I see that will be the first time I see it.
Porky's is a cult classic.
Sure, yeah. It's been scrubbed from memory it's been scrubbed from the
I know Porky's because when I was a kid, when Porky's came out, a couple of years later, you're like 11, 12 years old. You really want to see what you had missed,
right.
that everybody was talking about.
Right.
But A Christmas Story came out in 1983.
Yeah.
And it was out of box offices mostly by Christmas. It was kind of a flop. Mm-hmm. And now it is seen by millions of people every year. Probably one of the most watched movies of the year every single year.
Absolutely is. And it's weird because like I always think of that movie as like it never feels like it has a real solid beginning or a solid, like it just kind of plays for an hour and 40 minutes and then it's over. And it's like I kind of got a hint of a story here.
No, the story is he going to get the Red Ryder 200 shot carbine action range model air rifle?
Sure. It's a collection of scenes. It's one of those movies. It's like I think I've said this before about Anchorman. It's like a collection of great scenes, but without a whole lot of plot to it.
I agree with you on Anchorman. What sells A Christmas Story is the standing up to a bully.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
The wanting something that's unreasonable and then you get it.
Okay.
Like, I think those things still resonate with human beings, especially around Christmas.
Sure.
It's like the unattainable. He did everything he could possibly do to get this air rifle, and he's rebuffed at every turn by the teacher, by Santa Claus, by his mother. And then it's in the corner. And
his dad just picks it up for him.
Yes.
Where does the leg lamp fall? What kind of role does the leg lamp play? We have by the way,
it's an interesting aside.
This is probably Aaron's favorite Christmas movie. Like you can go to the actual Christmas Story house in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Which is one of the that's like bucket list shit for her. We have a leg lamp. Like I got her a full size leg lamp a few years ago for Christmas. It came in a box marked Fragile. It's the real deal, man. I've probably spent more time thinking about this movie than any person in existence as far as like, is it well done? Like, I don't know. Every time I see it, I'm like, it's not really shot particularly well.
No, it's
got the gauzy soap opera camera treatment to it.
Well, they've got a mist filter on the camera.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure is what that gives the nostalgia look. I think is what that's there for.
It's the dream sequence kind of thing. It's the he's retelling a story, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It just works. I can't tell you why, but it just works. When I was, this is like 1990, 1991, when we were buying VHS movies, my friend group and I, we spent more time with each other than we spent with our families. And they come home one day, and this is before the TNT TBS deal. They come home one day and they're like, "We got you a Christmas present." And they're like, "Open it. We want to watch it." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I opened it, and it was a VHS, A Christmas Story.
Nice.
So we
Okay.
were watching it before it became kind of a cult
Before
classic.
it became a cult classic.
So
That's
this
pretty
is
cool.
only 7 or 8 years after it had come out.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. The other thing is Peter Billingsley became kind of prolific in Hollywood, not necessarily as an actor, but as a producer.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
He's produced a ton of stuff that you have definitely seen. He also has had a few bit roles here and there. Like he's actually in Elf. He plays an uncredited role in Elf.
That role is uncredited because he speaks a lot in that.
I know it's uncredited. There's a few uncredited parts in that that would surprise you. He's got a lot of little bit parts as an actor, but he does have. He's got a lot of production credits to his name, a lot, and on big stuff. He was involved in a 30 for 30 episode at one point. He's done some work with music with music folks. He's done. I don't know if you ever saw F is for Family.
No, I never saw that.
It's an animated series. He was part of that. Of course, he did the Christmas Story Christmas, which was not bad. That was the sequel that they did a few years ago.
I saw some of that the other day and was just watching just to see it.
It's not bad. It's they do the story justice. Yeah. So interestingly enough, Peter Billingsley came out of that movie. He's done pretty well for himself. Also, you want to talk about an older dude that's good looking, man. Peter Billingsley's he's got it.
He directed Couples Retreat. Did you know that?
I did not know that. He's directed a bunch of stuff too, right?
Not that many. He's mostly been producing.
Okay.
And acting in bit parts.
He's done some writing stuff. He's just done a lot. He's a big behind the scenes guy. We've spent so much time talking about Christmas Story and Peter Billingsley. So the other things I watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Of course, you got to watch that.
I think so.
That's a classic. I don't even think that we need to talk a whole lot about that, other than Chevy Chase has there's a new
There's a
documentary about him.
Autobiographical, I guess. Well, there's a documentary coming out about Chevy Chase on Christmas or on New Year's Day on CNN.
And he leaves in all the bad stuff. He kind of leans into the fact that he has been an insufferable dickhead to work with for the better part of 50 years.
I think that is true. I need to go watch.
Oh, no, it's absolutely true. There are stories all over the place about how bad Chevy Chase is.
Well, he used a racial slur, and that's what got him fired from Community.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, after Vacation was over, we'll include Vegas Vacation in that.
I guess we have to.
Name one memorable thing.
Well, Community.
But he only was on there until he got fired.
Another movie that he did?
Yes.
Gosh, I can't remember. I think that was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And that's the problem with Chevy Chase.
Okay. He's also, by the time the Vacation series was over, I mean, he was kind of getting up there in years, wasn't he? He's not young. He's in his 70s now, isn't he?
He is.
Okay.
He had a bit role in the new Vacation movie, which was 10 years ago, by the way.
New Vacation movie?
Yeah, Vacation.
Oh.
With
one of these reboot kind of deals.
Which came out in 2015.
Okay.
He played Clark Griswold.
Missed that one.
He had a bit part in Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Oh, that's right. He did. He did have a part in Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I remember that now.
But he was on Community, and that's been more than 10 years ago.
He was on that. He was on Community for like 3 or 4 seasons before he got booted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he just hasn't done a ton of stuff. He's not like Bill Murray, who also has his problems. With being Bill Murray. But Bill has been a prolific actor.
Bill is more like, from what I understand, the stories that I've read and heard about him are that he's more of a he's just kind of difficult to wrangle. Like
Yeah.
he's not on time. He might be a little baked.
Vegas Vacation was 97, by the way. It's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. What else has Chevy Chase done? We don't need to do it. We know we should do a deep dive on Chevy Chase at some point. We probably should watch this documentary. And
Well,
talk
we're
about it
definitely
next
going to
week.
watch the documentary.
Okay.
All right.
What else are you? What do you? Because the only other stuff that I'm watching are like we have Seinfeld reruns on constantly.
I finished
and-
up the first season of Landman.
Did you? Okay. See, I'm waiting until the season is done. The second, I'd watched the first season. I watched the first season close to a year. It was like right after the first season was done. And now I started watching the second season, but they're doing it every week, and I can't. I've got to be able to binge like 3-4 episodes at a time.
I
So go
watched
ahead.
One Battle After Another twice.
Let's wait. Let's talk about Landman first.
Okay.
What's your take on it?
It made me think about human time in a different way than I had probably thought about it before. And I'll couple that with I am about halfway through There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
So that takes place in the late 1800s to the early 1900s. And then Landman picks up where that picks up in the modern oil business. And he's like, there's 180 years supply left. And I have been thinking about this for a while now. Like, are we in the sweet spot of humanity? Are we going to be that lucky time period where we had both electricity and a lifetime supply of oil, at least our lifetime supply of oil?
Yeah.
Because the way he talked about it on Landman was like, there's 180 years of this left, and oil runs the world. And he is not wrong. Now, that is a more Republican show, more conservative show, more that point of view than like the other day they glossed over the fact that all the fracking in Oklahoma caused all these horrible earthquakes and did great damage. I was like, they glossed over it with a single line. There were earthquakes in Oklahoma before fracking.
Okay, so this is a Taylor Sheridan joint.
A conservative.
Which I've not watched a lot of I'm not
Yellowstone.
I'm not into I've not for lack of wanting to, it's just not high on my list. I'm not into the Yellowstone stuff or the 1930 whatever it is, 1812, whatever
wasn't
whatever the
into
other
those
show
either.
is. I'm not really into those. I didn't necessarily take Taylor Sheridan for like a super like espousing, conservative values through his media work, but maybe that's true.
There's a little bit of it in there. That doesn't make it bad. I think the show is fascinating.
No, there's some stuff, and this is the thing. This is what I thought about Landman, the first season of Landman, is it gets a little preachy at times. Like even when they're
it definitely is
even when
preachy.
they're not really saying anything, it's like any more than like, well, yeah, that's common sense. It still is like there's some dialogue that's just forced in there. Like when he's talking about the solar power, the wind stuff that's powering the pumps that pump the oil out of the earth. I'm like, well, that's kind of ironic because you're crossing two different things there. Also, the show I thought it was I think it's just kind of ridiculous, and I can't stop watching it anyway.
I think it is absolutely ridiculous. It's a television show.
Yeah.
But there are some salient points in there that like some of the oil stuff you have to take with a grain of salt because it's coming from a certain point of view. Like basically oil is going to come out of the ground and if it's me pulling it out or if it's you or if it's somebody's going to pull this oil out of the ground because the world runs on oil.
Sure.
And that is true.
It's essentially true. Yeah.
But that
still
doesn't
today.
mean you just get
Doesn't
carte
mean we
blanche to do whatever the hell you want.
No, it doesn't.
Or to act a certain way. I think Billy Bob Thornton was the perfect cast for that.
Oh, he's tremendous in that show. That's part of the reason why I watch it is because of him.
He's believable in that.
And I also think that Allie Larder is like...
She has the hardest role in the whole thing because she's smarter than her character. She would never use her vanity like that, not in her real life. But I think she gets to really explore some things.
Does she ever?
And the daughter, too.
Yeah.
I think the Cooper the Cooper story is interesting with this fight with his own self, and this Mexican girl has just lost her husband.
You got Demi Moore playing a role that's mostly on a cell phone for the first like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, she's not really in it
she's
until
like on FaceTime for most of it.
Okay, here's another thing
once you get to the end of the season and into season 2, she's like live in person. She starts to become one of the main characters.
Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know about Landman, please discontinue watching. How do you kill off John Hamm after one season?
That's the character arc.
I don't. Yeah,
maybe they couldn't get him.
Choice.
Maybe it was too expensive.
That was a choice they made.
Yeah, maybe it was a little expensive.
I don't know.
Spending a lot of money on private jets and explosions for a TV show.
It is. It has to be an expensive show.
Putting a lot of money into that fucker.
So I'm watching that.
You kill off John Hamm for the same reason as you kill off one of the main characters in Game of Thrones in the first season, because it drives the story. It gives you like that oh shit moment.
How long do you think this show can go? Is it going to be like
4 seasons?
Justified, where it's like running out of gas after season 5?
No. Justified was also still doing the 22 episodes a year, wasn't it? 22 episodes a season?
I can't remember. There was a bunch.
It was a lot. And no, I don't think most TV shows nowadays want to go.
Yeah, these are
6, 7, 8, 9 seasons.
I think that's kind of a thing of the past.
It's like 4. If you can get 4 seasons and like 40 episodes,
that's
the sweet spot.
Shitload of television. That's 40.
Yeah.
That's like 30 hours of television.
Right. Exactly.
So, and when it looks nearly as good as a cinematic film looks,
yeah,
it's
a huge investment.
Let's talk about One Battle After Another.
Okay, you finally got to watch. I'm so glad that you got to. I was so happy when I pulled up. I took my daughter to see One Battle After Another a couple days before Christmas, a couple days after Christmas. No, before Christmas. Anyway, which she loved it. We actually went to the movie theater and watched it. She absolutely loved it. And the next day, I pulled up HBO Max, and there it is streaming.
It's streaming already.
And I was happy I got to see it with my daughter in the movie theater, because that's really the way that you should experience it. But I'm glad that it was streaming so quickly, because you got to watch it, because I was hoping that we could talk about this eventually.
Well, in the summer when we're doing off-topic NFL, we will talk about ranking Paul Thomas Anderson films. We're going to do a battle of the Andersons, Wes versus Paul.
Ooh, I like this.
But I like the film, and I'm working my way through lots of different things. I spend a lot of time on the treadmill these days, and we've talked about this a little on the show. I've got the TV in front of me, so I'm just working through things that I want to see.
Yeah.
So I started There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
I had not seen that, and that is
I can't believe you haven't seen that movie.
I know, it's just a slow start. That movie is a slow starter.
Yeah, well, there's no dialogue in it for the first
like 8 minutes.
Yeah, first almost 12 minutes, I think.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
it's a long time to not have dialogue. And I finished up Homeland, and I did watch a couple of the Christmas movies. We watched Elf as a family until the kids got aggravated that I was looking at my phone, and then they all walked out. Like, I've seen Elf 30 times.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched over. I regret it now. I switched over to the television provider that starts with an H and ends with a U and has Lou in the middle.
Okay.
Because I was so mad at CBS Paramount for pulling a story off 60 Minutes.
Okay.
Their new chief editor, Barry Weiss, she's not cut out for that job.
Okay.
I'll leave that
okay.
at that. But I have HBO and Hulu and Paramount Plus and Netflix and Prime. So I've got all this stuff, and I'm just working through things that I've wanted to see.
Okay.
And I'm really enjoying that.
Okay. Good. Now we've got to talk about. I've been watching like these. It's funny you talk about Paramount, because like my like going to sleep show is like I'm into. I think it's called Warships or something about battleships.
Oh
And
my
shit.
gosh.
Look, it makes me think every time I put it on because it's just like nerds talking about the Bismarck and the Hood and shit like that in World War II, and then it's like talking about PT boats and destroyers, and I dig it because I don't have to think about it at all, and it's just like a dude talk. It's like Aaron loves to fall asleep to
Isn't it?
it's Forensic Files.
Oh gosh, yes.
Because it's just droning on, and it's kind of there's no like explosions and shit. Like it's just smooth sailing into sleep.
You know what? I've two genres will suck me in like nothing else.
Yeah.
A good 30 for 30. I'm
Yeah.
wrapped.
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch that. I'll watch it again. I will see it through.
Any documentary style, like I'm at least giving it a shot.
That is one. And these are all, and maybe this is my problem, because the documentary I'm working on is about a historic event. So I'll leave it at that. We'll touch on that later in the summer.
Yeah.
The CNN look backs, they're called the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, the 90s.
Oh,
and the
those are
2000s.
great. Yeah.
I will watch those for hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're usually on Sunday nights. And on Sunday nights, we're kind of trying to get ready for the week. And I will turn one of those on, and Christy's like, "Oh my God, I don't want to watch this." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Shut up. I love this stuff." And so those things will suck me in.
Yeah.
But it's been a good break. It's been a good break, and I've enjoyed catching up on media, and I'm getting some extra shots.
How long has it been since you had like 12 days off, 14 days off in a row?
Typically, every year at this time, I try to take as many days as I can get.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to remember, for years, I worked most of the holidays.
Oh yeah.
When I was in
TV.
television
Yeah.
news, worked most of the holidays.
Yeah.
And so I've been away from television since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I have tried. And when I was at EKU, we were off during Christmas break unless we
Yeah.
had some sort of emergency.
Right.
So this is like the 7th or 8th year that my big vacation for the year is 2 weeks at home.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm enjoying that.
We get these 2 weeks off. They're pretty much given to us. I had to take a few extra hours of vacation on the front end, but to get to 2 weeks. But yeah, it's and I used to do, it used to be that I would do a lot. I would pick up a lot of production, like live production, like running sound. I'd pick up a couple gigs over Christmas break. I was almost always doing something on New Year's for a while, and then when we owned the bar up until about 2-3 years ago, I was like, there's no break.
No, you're
just there's no taking 2 weeks off from the bar. Like you can't. You have to be there every day.
At least a few nights a week.
Right. So it has been pretty nice to not have anything. I almost got roped into a couple of gigs this weekend, but I managed to get my way out of them. But so you don't want to talk about one battle yet today. Are we saving it? Or you want to put a minute or two on it?
I really liked it enough to watch it again, and I felt like I needed to see it again because I watched it in 2 parts the first time. I watched like the first half, and then I watched the second half sometime later.
Gotcha.
And that really threw me off because when I saw it again the second time, there's a 15-year period shift in the movie.
Yeah.
That it basically takes place by putting a Fu Manchu on Leo DiCaprio. And then you see his grown-up daughter.
God, he's so goddamn good. He's so good in that movie. It's just so his freaked out girl dad energy. The last 2/3 of that movie is
absolutely believable.
It's like it makes you you're like, that's exactly how I would feel if I was in his situation.
The nice thing about growing up with Leo DiCaprio has been he is exactly my age.
That's true. Yeah, you're
and
right.
He always ends up, unlike Brad Pitt, who is playing an F1 driver at 60 years old.
Right.
Leo typically has played somewhere close to his age.
Yeah.
And even in the toughest watches, like The Revenant,
Yeah.
It comes on and I just turn away from it.
Really? You
I don't
can't
wanna
watch
watch-
The Revenant?
It's just a tough watch.
Okay.
Like there's a 30-minute period in that movie where you're like, please let this fucking stop.
See, it just reminds me of how hard humans used to be.
They keeping this guy alive and then like doing
Yeah.
awful things right in front of him and he can't do anything about it. That goes on for 30 minutes.
It's like when I'm scraping my car. It reminds me of the feeling of like when I'm scraping my car in the morning sometimes, and it's like we've just had an ice storm, and I'm like, God, like Native Americans were some of the hardest people to ever walk the planet if they dealt with this kind of shit. Like not scraping cars and stuff. Like
anybody before electricity was hard as nails.
yeah, and that's what The Revenant makes me feel like. It's just like, wow, these people were just tough as hell.
We've only had hot showers for like 70 years.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
On demand.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
of course, back in the day, they could boil water on a stove.
Well, that's true. Or
But-
over open. I don't know. Whatever.
We're digressing.
We're getting into the weeds. This is where
Catch us on YouTube, Instagram. We're not on Twitter. TikTok, YouTube Shorts. We love the YouTube Shorts.
Instagram.
Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. But our main outlet is YouTube, and please catch us there. Go like and subscribe there.
Yeah.
Did we forget one?
Bet small, lose small at gmail.com. If you want to send us some messages, suggestions,
Hate mail.
recipes for
Recipes.
meat pies. I don't know, whatever else. Sign us up for weird mailing lists.
Don't do that.
Make us your junk mail inbox. I don't know.
Anyway, catch us online. That's where we are.
Yeah. So next time you hear from us, it'll be
We'll come to you.
the new year. We'll be back next. We'll be right on schedule. This is actually lined up pretty well. We haven't really had any, like, it hasn't been a weird recording schedule through the holidays. So
We'll catch you in 2026.
that's right.